Greetings, my name is Wade DeWalby, and welcome to another Just Talk to Me Part 3, I think. So, obviously, I want to talk. That's normally what I do. Normally, what do you guys want me to do? And obviously, what to do next? Well, thankfully, people have been very happy to me, and I'm actually excited. I like to hear it. However, there is something missing. I didn't get anything from my emails, so I'm guessing that people do not understand or possibly have no clue what they are wanting to. But that's okay. I did not cry like a little baby, but instead, here I am trying to negotiate and seeing what obviously happens. And then I'm thirsty. That's a great start. Oh yeah, I should change the icon. For some reason, it might, want to stand out. I haven't done that printer thing I was going to do, but I didn't yet. Hey, at least I'm in the morning, at least. It's not like, like bedtime, or I should say the nighttime side of things. I've been thinking about live streaming whatever I want to. I decided to have no schedule, but instead at least maybe not every day, just to be sure. Because, things change a lot. This is my spare time for you people to at least give me suggestions of what to do. Read description. I'm waiting. Well, I guess I'll just have a conversation. If no one is on here to talk to me, I guess I'll at least will talk about things that I want. Not I want. Well, to make sure I don't look like a fanboy to you people, I'm going to make sure hopefully I get a haircut. Maybe if you shut up about it, but you or other people, not on YouTube, but other people wanted my hair to become green or something like that. Even teachers said that. I'm like, what? Why would I even be like that? I want it blonde. This is my color. I don't want to look like a dork. Especially Jacksepticeye, but that's his logo character, so I'm not going to make fun of that. If you really want me to color my hair, then you're going to have to wait for never, because no, I'm not going to change my hair. No, I'm not. That's the problem. Because if you are so against of making me look like I'm a fanboy, then I will not make sure I look like a fanboy. And if that doesn't make sure, then I'll make sure I'll look like a fanboy to make sure to, look like one temporarily, because I don't want to embarrass myself to other people thinking I'm really one. I want to embarrass myself. You see, I don't want to embarrass myself to people that in the world. My computer is having errors, but that's okay. It's done that before. Probably as soon as I said that, it's going to be like destroying my life. Well, back to science here, just like that. I've tried to open that. Hey, cool. I tried to figure that out, but for the life of me, I can't open it up. It has data on there, but I'm guessing there must be a secret password. I must get that right. He's hiding something. What do you think? Rule number one. The reason why people dislike me is because I look like a fanboy. If it's just because I'm getting older, is it just because of that making me look like a fanboy? Then that's bad. Then I'm going to have plastic surgery, which is billions of dollars or something like that. I don't want plastic surgery. I look fine. But if this keeps up, I'm going to have to waste my whole entire money. And I don't even have $1,000. I only have $100 or something like that in my budget. I don't even have enough money to pay that. I have to find a job, which I don't. So that's why I'm a loser. And if you think, okay, I am a loser. Okay. I am 100% loser because I have no job. That's what I am. And if you're going to say and try to pat my back, don't do that, because I am a loser. You don't have to feel sorry for me. It's absolutely just bonkers, to be honest to you. I was laid off and I want a job back. But when this thing is over, I want a job and I'm going to get so much money so I can at least get plastic surgery to make myself uglier so I can finally let you people to think I'm not a fanboy. Maybe I should look manly or something like that, try to. Well, if I look manly, then that's going to be like trying to act like I'm a girl. There's no way out of this. Either I'm going to have to look. Oh my God. This makes me love those stupid people that want to make themselves different by. To be honest with you, it's fucked up. Why? It's because these idiots want to make themselves different person and gender, which guys can't be pregnant, and I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Unless if you're another species and you've been basically were a sexual being, then that's possibly a thing. There's an episode on Star Trek Enterprise, the 2001 one. There's one, I think it was 2004 it came out. There's an episode in there that actually has a man been pregnant. And it did actually explain why he was pregnant. It was actually not, it was like on the side. It actually did explain, because look at that. You're in a different type of situation where there's different species and stuff. And you have no idea what's out there. So that's the other explanation. But no, there's no possible way. Thankfully, they got rid of that, whatever it was. But it was actually an accident. And it wasn't, it was something about, go watch it. You could understand it. It's somewhere around there. But if you're a Star Wars fan, you're probably like, no, physics. Yeah. Even my mom always says, about Star Wars. Got that right next time. She always says, how is it possible when those fighters fly in a vacuum of space without any propulsion? Even Scott Manley, he did also demonstration. There's even some other games that actually try to simulate by using thrusters. But it's obviously lots of fuel to use just to maneuver like that. Unless if you use impulse, but not like every direction. I have no idea. It's some of it in Star Trek. Now I'm trying, I didn't get it wrong. I know I'm talking about Star Trek. How is a ship can rotate 360 degrees? It's not instant. They do have a bit of trouble rotating, especially in that one called the Ninth Degree in the Star Trek, Next Generation, the Ninth Degree or something like that. And they were blamed from the pill in the comments below. But the ship went this way, but it did a maneuver to go the opposite way, which suggesting that it only has a little bit of impulse on just the reverse. Your main engines are just like on Orbiter. You have retro engines, hover engines, and main engines. On a rocket ship, which is the same thing like the Soyuz, I don't think there's retro engines. There is, but they're equal to the other engines I used for maneuvering, such as docking. The main engine is only used for actually just increasing orbit or decrease orbit. I don't think they necessarily don't use it that much. I don't think so, because I think it's already pre-programmed. But you have to always have it just in case something terrible happens, or you use it for to increase the space station. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about science here. You're probably like, what the hell, I just like talking about that. I just always talk to myself, and I feel like I'm an audience. And when I always try to do the real thing, it's not as the same. Maybe because a camera always focuses on me. No, I always get, okay, jumping on all over the place. That seemed to be expected to non-autistic people, which I'm really, you see, my mind is just getting just screwed up by just saying everything. Just hold on a minute. I'm just saying things in the wrong direction. Wait, to be honest with you, I didn't have my medication. So that's probably why. Damn it. That's the problem. That's what's going on. I just need some, because I already took it a long time ago, so I need an extra medicine just because that's what my mom told me and I forgot, and I don't know where a drink is, and I know where the drink is. That's what's going on. My mind is just jumping all over the place. It's ADHD. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna mute the mic. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to do something. I'll be right back. I'm back. Don't ask. I know. I drank a whole. Oh, why is it blurry now? Don't do that. I'm back. I guess people are still interested because there's 2 viewers still on here. I guess I'll keep going with my commentary. I think it might be interesting to people, which I'm kind of happy about. Okay, at least it's still okay. Let me get back to my. Okay, okay. I should be feeling better in about 20 minutes. Not enough time to at least get it to be fixed. You know, my mom always says, "Can you take your medicine?" Well, Mom, it takes 20 minutes to kick in. She just like yells at me, and I already took it. And she's like, "You haven't felt better yet." I'm like, she forgets about time. Jeez. Maybe she just, I don't know. To my experience, she feels like it's like that. What was I? Ah, yes. Star Trek? Let me get another drink. Star Trek. Oh, yeah. The pregnancy. I knew it when he was like, you know, like, what is those things? They're like nipples. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I gotta show my mom that. And I knew it was like pregnancy. He's like, it has to be pregnancy. Oh man. Yeah, go watch those. They're pretty cool. But for some reason, just make sure you get the whole picture of it, because some of it is actually more mixture. You have to, you have to watch like the beginning of like, you don't have to actually watch the beginning of, you can watch any of the beginning of Star Treks and they actually sort of explain. You don't have to watch the Star Trek classic ones on Netflix. You can actually start, you know, like Star Trek Voyager, or even you can go, Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Enterprise, and you know you'll get there. But if you have no idea, then there's always the web. You can always have the web, and they can explain to you. I mean, they do explain it sort of, but sometimes I kind of get confused. As of course, a rocket scientist. Well, I don't have a degree, but I do know how more orbital mechanics. Not much about physics, but I don't know much about their. I know fusion reactor. I know what a nuclear reactor does, but it's not like that. It uses. They say like anti-protons, and I know what an anti-protons, and then it uses the warp couplings, and I guess what it does, those things to contain the warp field. That's how they're able to move. And I believe they probably use a magnetic field, not magnetic field, but a shield in the warp field, because there's no way in hell that you're going to actually have, because those speeds, they're going at the speed of light. So I'm just thinking that they probably have sort of like a protection, like a bubble. Oh yeah, they do mention warp bubble. They do have like something about like that. But it is actually, all of it is actually realistic. All of it is in the state of physics. It's not, they're not breaking, they do mention they don't break the laws of physics, but sometimes they do have to, there's some anomalies that do break the laws of physics. So yeah, they do go to the books, they read, physics, so they do. But in Star Wars, it's like, what? How is that possible? I mean, there's some instances when I'm like understanding about the Death Star destroying a planet, you gotta understand, like, I understand that they probably, the people that made it knew about nothing about, obviously, gravity and, things that happen. Especially Scott Manley did explain, if you used a type of, like, how you destroy a planet, like disintegrates. Actually, there is one point that it does happen in Star Trek. Actually, I don't know what was, I think it was like an anomaly or something. Time, I don't know. But in that episode of Star Trek Enterprise, they did have, they were having, Captain Kirk? I forgot. It's been a while. Not a while. I could just watch it right now, but I'm too lazy. I mean, no, it's sweet tea, by the way. It's Gold Peak sweet tea. My mom used to make sweet tea for me. Oh, back to Star Trek. Sorry. It's not autism. It's actually this generation of, yeah, you probably had that problem before. People that are born before technology, they always keep their topics in place. Unless they have editing to prevent that. But sometimes in Star Trek, they sort of, they kind of break. They say they're orbiting, so I believe them. But in the scenes, but hey, it's actually not real. So, but hey, it's a future. So yeah, you use impulse and stuff. So I believe that. Don't try to Kerbal. Actually, there are some mods out there that increase the thrust is so incredible, but because they have like warp, I believe, maybe they turn it off and it. Impulse, I don't know how it works. But impulse is red in it. I think it's probably heat, maybe. But hey, it's all the future, but it's all physics, right? Yeah, don't take physics class. You can pretty much learn about physics by just oh man. I never been to physics class, but I heard about physics class and it was boring. Well, it's too late now. I pretty much learned about about mass and how like physics. It's not just like a teeter-totter or something like that. No, it's like, it's all around you. There's physics all around you. Actually, not around you. I always thought about the Earth. I thought Earth had the center core was creating the gravity. But then years later, then I found out it's mass. See, my autism mind always gets a lot of bit of weird theories about what's going on, how gravity is created. And all this was just mass. Yeah. I even defamicate Santa Claus. I'm sorry, but people out there think that Santa Claus is real, but I'm not going to mess that up because they have different religions, and I'm not going to mess that up. You can think what you want to think. But I meant was, because I figured out really quickly, my mom decided, to tell the truth. And it's atheism, but when people, it's really like dangerous when people say they're an atheist and then they just like destroy them. Something like that. Have you ever watched The Worst Hated Woman? Yeah, it's pretty good to atheists, but it's actually terrible to everybody because it demonstrates, religion sometimes is dangerous. But there are two types of religions that are the worst. Scientology. That religion is terrible. You have no idea. My mom's been watching documentaries about it, and it is fucked up. You have no idea. I never know what it was. I forgot the other one, but something about like an alien or something that they have to go. It's just it's almost like torture. It's almost like it is. You're on a boat in the middle of the ocean. It's not like a cult like in Waco. Oh man, I know it's wow that in Waco, Texas. You know what I'm talking about. Happened in the 80s or something like that. Yeah, there's a good show on the Netflix, I think. Yeah, it is on Netflix. I think it's called Waco, and it's like a series. It's pretty good. You know, actually gets in. It actually have really good characters that actually look like it, and they're not counter terrorists. Just they were actually the ATF or something like that. I or something like that, or something like that. ATF sounds a bit familiar than real life. I don't know. I forgot. I don't know if I mean. I guess no one will be talking to me. I guess I'll try the fourth one. Never mind. Ugh. Not trying to have a sponsoring ship. I don't need sponsors. I don't need them because I already have the money already. It's just what I can sponsor? My mom. Well, that won't make sense because my mom pays for the premium, so I'm guessing I should start sponsoring her. I have no idea. Yeah, I get annoyed. But it's funny when you're having. I'm going all over the place. I know. But I got to say this one thing. It's funny that. Whoa, my mind just got crazy. Felt like something hit me. Like my mind just didn't work for a while. I didn't mention it for a while. For like 2 seconds, and then I told you. That was the strangest thing ever. Well, that was kind of weird. Did you see me, right? You saw my facial features was like it was it's not my autism. It can't be. Or something. I have no idea. Did something happen? Was there like a gamma ray burst or something? I don't see no beam of light. So how much radiation am I getting? They say radiation smells. But you probably be dead by now if you were. Oh my god, my hair is so much. No wonder people call me a fanboy because just I got it's just so annoying. I will really look better with my hair cut. Just so much. Oh, it's terrible. I'll soon get a haircut. I soon will get a haircut, hopefully, if my mom agrees. Oh, yeah, she hasn't been feeling good. Yeah, she's been hurting herself a lot. Not in a suicide way, but in a, she just, yeah, nothing. Like, wow, all the signs is not people. Yeah, she hasn't been like, yeah, we had to skip my birthday party because it just wouldn't work. So we should, but she's not infected. Well, she is infected with her foot. It's a fetish. Shut up, Wade. No, this is serious. But yeah, she's not feeling good in a sense that her doctor told her to not move, keep her off of her feet. And don't say it's a fetish. Stop it. YouTube does not like talking to me about feet. I don't know why. Because they gave me a warning because about that. And she just has to stay in her bed, and I beg her to feed me. I probably just ruined my life by just saying those things. What is the point, anyways? What? I really want to get rid of this channel. It's already ruined. I don't like it. I never thought I would get a warning. I never thought. This world is just sort of. Listen. I have a disability. It's called autism. I have ADHD, and it's laziness, but still, I do have food supplies, and I don't get to starve to death. And there's no way of me getting starving to death. There is if I probably begged for my mom for hunger, but I can acquire some food such as microwave food. But don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. Mom, I remember my mom saying, "I'm going to die." And when people say that, that means they were actually going to die. If my mom dies, who's going to take care of me? Not my dad. He's in Montana. Go fuck him. Nanny is about 80 something years old. You know, eventually, if my dad takes care of me, it's going to be a hell of a loss. I'm probably going to be the most evilest person ever. I probably will even create a crime or something like that and probably go to jail for the rest of my life. I will never learn. There's two ways of survival. One is a good place to be, and then one that is just terrible. There's two roads, good or bad. And my road is heading to the bad side. That train is headed straight to the bad. Once that hits, it's going to be almost depressing again. In fact, that train already passed when it happened on January 5th, 2019. That train was actually on the good side, but then it teleported right there when my channel was terminated. 126 subscribers vanished in oblivion. No place to hide out of this apocalypse. It has been the roughest ever years in my entire life. Lost my job by stupid consequences that had been happening around here. We all know what's happening. It's all around us. Yeah, but there is one good side. Well, there's barely a good side. I tried to make a community with the Wallaby Mob, but it's not as successful as I thought. However, it's actually successful on the Steam edition. But on Discord, it's just one person left. All of them just ran away for some reason. And then all my friends stopped talking to me. Even girls stopped talking to me. I have barely anybody that I know that doesn't even know about me. And people just call me a fanboy, faggot, and all those stuff. And I'm not neither of those. I'm just a standard 20-year-old person that just lives. And all I do is do science, research, and changing things have been happening. I love to teach people. But people just think that I think they're jealous. People dislike my streams and it just makes me uncomfortable. Even recordings I did on OBS. If you don't like about rocket science, I suggest you leave. The people that want to make fun of me. It's been a rough time for people. My sanity level has went down to 83%. That's a permanent marker. Only one time it was 100%, but now it's only been to 83% because there's no fun left. People, it just feels like people run away from me. And I know I'm not insane. I can contain myself. I don't believe those people that think they're autistic and they're acting like that. I know because I am autistic. And even my mom knows I am. Even proof. I have proof from doctors back in 2003 or 4. There's proof of my diagnosis. People don't believe. When I tried to communicate and starting to share my channel, I gave a lot of people started bullying me. So I stopped doing that. I tried to hide it instead. I never hide stuff. That's just because. And then my mom tells me, you can't be afraid of what people say to you. They think that you're actually are gay, and that's because you are showing signs of it, and they want to poke holes into your brain. And it's just my brain goes into different ways. I can't, especially bantering. I don't get bantering. I try. I even try to banter. It does work in some places, but I have gotten used to it. But it's just, to me, it sounds like people bully me. That's the autism. It literally is a barrier that basically prevents me to interact with other people in proper ways. I can't even socialize properly. The only time I was able to socialize is if somebody forced me to socialize or something like that. And I can't socialize because something is going on. Almost the entire world is happening. I can't do it. We all can't. But maybe one day we will. But that will probably be another year. I don't mind if you people talk about politicians or something like that. Because I know a lot about political things now, ever since people have been making fun of things. People probably have been brainwashed by this virus. It's probably affecting people and making them think to what they like. Here's a funny joke. China, Joe Biden. China wants to think that we are supposed to worship Joe Biden. The virus is controlling us to like him. I don't think we're infected. So the ones that are intelligent enough to know I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. So what that means is my mom is not a follower, so I follow her, what she thinks, and she knows that she's correct because we have the evidence. And not just her, even though she's a coal miner, even coal miners think that Joe Biden's good. And we're from the union. Well, that's obviously the most practical thing because Democrats work for the union or something like that. Remember, my mom has been a coal miner for 15 years, apparently. She was down there. She wasn't like a type of person that was standing around doing nothing. She was down there. She was literally digging coal. Actually, she was working on it. She wasn't digging coal. That's not as they think. They were mining the coal with equipment in the 80s or something like that. 90s or no, early 90s to 80s. In fact, that was the only thing that I liked about my mom. In fact, even the doctor even mentioned her. She wore herself out so much in the coal mine that even the doctor was surprised. Her bones were just, worn out. From a woman like my mom, that's something. Especially when she takes steroids. Well, there's a consequence with steroids. It causes necrosis. And my mom already has necrosis. The steroids are eating her body. The reason why she takes steroids is because if she does not take her steroids, her esophagus will stop working. And eventually, she'll suffocate. I lose my mom. What happened? Why does it not work? Back in 2007, I remember on the bus with my mom. She was driving a bus. There's even evidence of that I took in 2000. There was in 2006. I have no idea. Oh yeah, back to the union guy that my mom. His name was Rich. The reason why I can talk about him because he doesn't know about technology. There was even -1% of him trying to look on YouTube and thinking, yeah. So yeah, I can talk about him. Even my mom said I can talk about him because I didn't like him anyways. I thought he was supposed to be a good guy. He only had a cell phone. There was no iPhone. He only had a stupid cell phone. And he was working at the same mine and the same, they call it, not shift, but a, so yeah, my mom was a working hard woman. She was actually really young and she was getting a lot of money. However, the mine was shut down for a purpose. The contract ran out. It was because of the coal mines were being shut down. In 1998. I think that's when the coal mine shut down. Or 1997 or somewhere around there. It shut down, was forced to shut down because the smokestacks were needing filters. And of course, the contract ran out. She was working for Exxon, so there was a thing. And yeah, Exxon coal? Really? Yeah. At that time, yeah, Exxon was working on coal. My mom taught me so much about the technology, the buggy, the continuous miner. By the way, if you play Half-Life Beta or something like that, that called the digger looks like a continuous miner. I bet if I showed my mom, she'd be like, that looks like continuous miner. It's like it looks like a barrel, but it's like with spikes and stuff. And the way it does is there's a small conveyor belt and it mines the coal and it brings into a buggy or scooper, I have no idea, into the aisle or something like that, or section. I forgot what it was called. Then that conveyor belt will go to a bigger conveyor belt and a bigger one and a giant one, and that goes to the trains. Something like that. And that coal goes to a power plant and it's used to burn, to evaporate the water. And then I've got the power. Something like that. But nuclear power plants are much more dangerous. You know what happened to Chernobyl? It's complicated, but it makes sense if you're like me. I'm not a nuclear scientist, and there's multiple types of nuclear styles. I'm not sure about. Yeah, it's complicated. A nuclear power plant is different types of nuclear power plants. In fact, I think there was a friend in our family that actually worked at a power plant. I think he died. Probably died from cancer. And you know what that's from? Radiation. Oh, by the way, I'm actually getting radiation. It's called the background radiation. It's what's caused by a phenomenon called a ball of plasma. It's called the sun. That ball of plasma is being created by a quintillion amount of, well, billions of amounts of hydrogen. Turns into helium. Turns into something else, and then iron. And you know what happens next? Blah! Well, actually, this star won't do that. It will actually expand and then turn to a stellar nebula, and then there'll be a white dwarf. All right. Okay, so what was I saying about? Damn, oh yeah, I remember. Oh, back to the bus. My mom was saying, "My eyes are gonna pop out." I remember that saying, and that her eyes were gonna pop out. That was the only thing. And then I can't remember, but my mom told me years later about what actually happened. You go like this. It was at night or something like that. My mom was, I don't know where I was, but my mom was suffocating. She went to the hospital at St. Elizabeth's Hospital, which is gone now, which they tore it down, sadly. And they were like, you have a tumor. The tumor was accumulated from here. It literally was cutting access to her esophagus. By the way, here's a quick fact. When I was in kindergarten, I said esophagus. So there were like a little thing there was, and it was an apple. What's B? You get what I mean. And then I said esophagus. The teacher was like, and the kids were like, what's esophagus? Explain today. So yeah, that's a quick fact. I was taught so early. Yeah, my birthday was yesterday, so it gives you the idea. 2001, yesterday, you get the idea. So yeah. Then, well, this was kind of been a mishap. My mom would have been fine if it wasn't for too much chemotherapy. And this would actually happen to her. This was caused by, she took less radiation medicine or something like that using lasers. She only took less of that treatment, radiation treatment. Instead, the doctor put way over she gave a shit ton of chemotherapy. And you know what happened? It got rid of it over months, I think. It got rid of it, but the consequences were already there. I remember my mom did actually have recordings of her in pain. What was a remnant was lymphoma, necrosis, well, actually from steroids. There was some other things. Well, then she started getting her, then in 2007, after some months later, my mom started to get very sick. It was an after effect. The chemotherapy literally gave her consequences. Little did they know the doctor was retired immediately. They didn't get a chance to get her in trouble. Then my mom it was already too late. 2008 was the worst year my mom had. She was becoming to bloat. Water was becoming to accumulate out of nowhere. I don't know much about that. Then there was pizzas that came around her leg. She bloated with so much water. She was literally like a boomer, like in Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead. Well, actually not like that. There was just a bunch of water that accumulated. She literally was so heavy. She just began to be fat. And she was just fucked. Eventually, she couldn't even get out of bed. She was like a magnet. And all I could think, eventually, the house wasn't cleaned yet. And it got more and more worse as my dad was being a dick. Bullied me a lot. My mom was in bed for the longest time. Did nothing at all. The last thing she was exercised was back in the mine. That was over in 1998. But that kicked her ass. Eventually, she started, because even though she even exercised because I walked like 7 months, I think. I don't know much about that. I think I walked 7 weeks, I think, or 7 months. I forgot. It's either those two, 7 weeks or something like that. And I started running, or 7 months. I don't know, after my birth. And I started running around and stuff, and I couldn't help myself, and my legs were not ready, and I started hitting my head multiple times. Little we know, I was very curious, and I wanted to know everything. My legs just wanted to move. My brain wanted to learn. My brain knew something was wrong, and it was the autism. The autism. We could think of autism prior to, like, what happens is the brain cells in the brain, they're not attached. So diagnosis starts pretty late. to determine. But thankfully, I did get diagnosed pretty quickly. So that meant I was treated early. So I was able to basically be like a normal person. I mean, look at me. Do I look like I have autism? I mean, look at my face. I mean, I look like a normal person. Actually, I kind of look handsome, but just because my mom tells me I'm handsome. But my mom recently told me not allowed to say that to girls because they probably get jealous. Be like, oh, he's probably a dick. See, I always worried about things. In 2008, yeah. Wow, it was a rough day. My mom only had like a stretcher. No, she had like a wheelchair. She was so weak. But then she tried to exercise. In 2008, you know what happened? Well, there was a crash. But luckily, the bank owner or bank person, the bank did tell us there was something bad that was going to happen. Eventually, he was right. The bank person, he said there was going to be something bad. And then luckily, we did survive because that early warning. I don't know what happened to the financial crisis, but we pretty much did survive. But all of a sudden, all these people in our neighborhood started just leaving because they were broke. But we were lucky. We were prepared for that. I don't know how it works. It probably does explain. I tried to learn it from YouTube, but it don't make no sense. It's hard, especially if you're a bank owner. You probably understand. Or a lawyer. And then 2009 came around. Oh, by the way, my mom, she had to quit her job because she was just, she was getting sick. Now, that's why my mom is like this. She has to take steroids all day, every single time. That's the story on why she takes steroids and all these medications. But the reason why I take methamphetamine, wait, you're saying it's illegal. Actually, it's not illegal. It's illegal if you actually own it without doctor's ownerships. ADHD, methamphetamine. If you have diagnosed with ADHD, which I got from my mom, methamphetamine does not affect. Actually, it's an aesthetic form. Methamphetamine is actually it is there, but it's not as aggressive as, it's illegal. It's actually medicine that only helps me to at least decrease this hyperness, ADHD. And it actually is the opposite effect. You think that methamphetamine makes you crazy. It actually is the opposite effect with ADHD. That's what my mom tries to tell me. Most of my medicine is antidepressants, so that's why I always have to take them because I get depressed because, what has been happening. But just don't pick your foot. So, if you have any questions, which I bet you have, you can always tell me and I will answer them. I always will. Because I do take care. I always love when viewers say good things about me. And it just makes me anything that's small, it just makes me so happy. It makes me just light up. I'm actually going to cry. That little thing could just make a change. Especially if an admin does it for me. That was actually beautiful. When he said happy birthday and he put a little thing on the side, that made me very happy. I would never know that somebody. Now, that's a good admin. Oh, I'm going to be so happy. And I started that server on, But let's just go play. I've been playing Counter-Strike Source for a long time. I don't know why. I just play. I do have Counter-Strike Global Offense, but for some reason, I just play Counter-Strike Source. I just don't know why. It's so fun. I mean, by playing bots, it's just because, I don't know. I'm going to, let's go to 69. With some bots on hard mode. On expert mode, it goes to, there's less bots, but they're really good. But I usually have it on hard because on normal, they have trouble of navigating. They're AI kind of stuff. So there's, I believe in hard mode, their AI is a bit better than normal. Easy, they're practical. So it means that, it's a little challenge. You always have to. It used to be easy because they were such good, but now I'm helping myself. Let's get inside of my game. All right. Let's get a flashbang. You can always carry 2 flashbangs. And it lags sometimes. It lags when you're on the map. Okay, we should get the 5.7 or the. Let's get the compact. I don't know. They're probably cheaper. Or I have a sound surround.
Roger that.
Night vision doesn't do much, but I think it lights up the head.
Roger that. Affirmative. Thanks. Nice shot. Enemy spotted. Near it there. Three left. Windows.
Oh! I'm dead. Oh! What? Oh, it's taking a long time for them to move. This is on hard mode. They're supposed to look at each other. Well, be Xander. Copyright claims would kick it back to Russia. So when I do this, that's my autism. It's called stimming. Oh, he's got the hostages. Or hold. Yeah, the hostages. Or if I do this, it's just my autism. Don't worry about that. I can't help it, but when I'm, do it with myself, I do that when I'm happy. It's called stimming. But it's normal for my autism. But I try to hide it as much as possible. But just in case, if you see me do that, don't think I'm woohoo. But that's my autism. That's normal. But yeah. I always have those quirks. But you mean quirks? Like as the, from Star Trek, from Deep Space Nine? No, the other quirk. I just love making some joking myself. I'm not the only autistic person that does YouTube videos, but I think that I'm the most intelligent one that knows about things and probably humorous. Maybe not humorous, but just I don't know. Oh my god, okay.
Very nice.
Hey, I gotta find him again. Hello, guy. What are you doing on the ladder?
Affirmative. Roger. Negative. Thanks. I'm gonna guard the hostages. Here. Clear. There's too many. Backyard. 2 enemies left. Report in. On the funnel. Nothing happening over here. Go. Roger. No, sir. On the front. Roger that. On the front. Roger that.
That's kind of a bit awkward a little bit. Got him.
They left. Enemy spotted. Hang on, I'm coming.
Oh.
Cover me. Put in, team. Butch, nothing moving over here.
Right back at spawn. Come on, bots. Come on. Wait, I'm back here.
Cover me.
Oh, ooh, Jim. Come on, you can do it, buddy. The hostages. He knows where he's at. That's why I'm thinking he's looking up there because he knows. Oh, yeah, he knows where he's at. Yeah! Good job, Zimmy. Zimmy. I'm dangerous.
Put in, team. Spawn clear. I'm gonna guard the hostages. Me too. Fire in the hole. I'm with you, Storm. I'll go with you. Watch it, there's a sniper. Roger that. Roger.
All right, I'm gonna cut here.